First thing we'd like to look at today is the Pak Sau, and I'll bring my training partner out, Tracy, to help me with this today. And the first thing we'd like to look at here is the sectoring system before we show the Pak Sau. In the first video we showed you sectors 1 through 4, and we're going to review it just briefly. Sector 1 was when we could zone to the outside area like this and get away from the second hand, and 2 hands were on the outside. The second sector was the split entry, 1 hand outside, 1 hand inside. And the third sector was the Wong Pak entry, or the parry and deflection in here. And then if they threw the big right hand, or if he tries to grab me from the outside, just a punch or a grab from the outside. Okay, ready? Now as we start to study the Pak Sau here, in the beginning when you train this with your partner, this is called the high outside reference point, and this is just for training, but it's a good way to start training with your partner. And the first thing we'll look at here today is thinking about everything moving forward. At first, when people sometimes first learn the Pak Sau, they have a tendency to do this. And there's no foot movement, and they're not moving forward. This is a close range tool that you want to crash in here on your opponent. So as we do this, think about the lead hand and the foot moving together. It's almost as if there were a stick stuck between my foot and my hand, and each time I punched, both of them have to go together. So the backhand, the helper right here, just put it in the middle of your chest on your center line, and as this hand goes forward, the front foot and the front hand move, the back one just comes along for help. Now, a couple other things to look at here when you first start to train this with your partner is his part of this is to make sure that he parries. He's going to push this over just slightly, and in the beginning, don't punch right at a person's face, because if they haven't had this type of training, this will happen so fast sometimes you'll just hit them. So make sure in the beginning, punch out to the side, and it gives them a chance to learn how to train this and to pick up on the parry motion also. So as I move forward, that's it, and then have your partner do it back towards you, and then do this about 20 times on each side, and then switch it over to the other side. And one more note before we move here is, if you can trap the front foot in this manner, it's even that much better. You can stand on the foot, or if you even crash in farther, you can take a shin, and if I push here, he'll go down fast. You see it there? Okay, ready? So one more time. And you go. That's it. Now with everything, we'll switch around here like we were talking about a while ago. Once you've learned how to do this on one side, you've done 20 or 30 repetitions, switch it over and practice this side. Same thing. That's it. Thanks. Now, today on this video, again, because of the limitations of time, we're going to show most of this on the right side. A little bit later in the video, we're going to deal with a person that might throw 2 punches, but in the beginning, we'll throw mostly the right hand, because in real self-defense situations, like I think today 87% of the population are right-handed, and when someone is very angry, and unless they're a trained fighter, they'll usually just try to throw a big right hand there at you. Okay, ready? So in Sector 1 now, we learned in Volume 1 how to get to the outside to get away from the second hand, and that's what we'll do here. Okay, so again. So once you zone and you've hit here first, then just go on in with the Pak Dar, trap up the arm, and hit again. Now, we're not looking at any evasion in this video. Volume 1, we talked about trying to get away. If you could, in real-life situations, if you can avoid a violent confrontation, that's what you should do. But now in this, we're going to look at the standpoint here is he's made it apparent to me he's going to make me fight my way out of this. So we're going to look at some of the best tools that we can have to do this. So again, when he punches, get to the safe zone. Again, if he punched, he'd have to punch all the way over there to hit me. Anytime we can get to that safe zone, it's the best place you can be. So. And you're in. Now see, in this instance, I was able to trap up his other foot also, which would really be ideal for me. Okay, in Sector 2, from the split entry, once you hit right here on the split, just let it make a small circle and come back out to the outside. Okay, so again. And when you do the POC on somebody, try to pin their arm to their body. Sometimes when people first learn this, and we may even do that in this video because as we're talking, we're not sometimes maybe concentrating on the techniques as good as we should because we're trying to explain this and we're trying to show the sectors where we're working at it in here. But in real life, when you practice this, try to pin their arm tight to their body so they can't use it again. Okay, so one more time in Sector 2. There we go. In Sector 3, from the Wampok entry, and let's turn this one just a little bit this way. From right here now, we're going to have a look at doing a Pak Sau on this arm right here, and then the trapping we'll look at from here that fits in this sector very good is a Sut Sau or a hack like this. Now, once you've entered to here, let the left hand come back and it does like a mini Pak Sau, and this one strikes immediately. And then this hand, in this instance the right hand, would come down, monitor the hand in this way, and this one will turn up and do a chop like this. Now, it can be called a Sut Sau or a hack, or you can just think of it a knife hand. Whatever your system calls a strike like this, it's the same thing. Okay, so we'll do this now with just a little bit of speed so you can see that. And it starts the loosening process here, and then you can go to your other tools. Okay, in Sector 4, normally there's not a lot of trapping in Sector 4, and let's turn this way for this one. Normally there's not a lead hand barrier. If they hook the punch, you're just in, just like that. You just go straight to penetrate. So from here, in Sector 4, you could usually just hit with attack by combination. Now, if there was a need to trap here for just a second, you can practice this drill again from Sector 4. It'll look identical.